I can break an apple in half with my bare hands.
David's team.
What is your technique?
I take it in the hands.
Yes. Are your hands bare at this point?
Of course they're bare.
Yes.
Friction's very much part of this this equation. You must pull it, I'm going to say east to west. A lot of people think you need to twist. You don't need to twist.
You don't need to twist.
Really?
You just
don't need to
pull
twist.
apart.
Pull it apart.
How do you get the
Pull the
grip?
apple apart.
Won't your hands just slide away from it? I'd have thought you'd need to twist.
If you twist, you fail. Twisting equals tears.
So you just grip the apple in your hands and then fling them apart, and you have 2 half apples.
No, I rip it apart.
Yeah.
The way you were miming it then, there's like downward pressure from the thumbs, almost as if you're trying to open it like a book.
Yeah.
Is that what it's like? Because I can believe that more than the just grip, bang!
Yes. No, David, that's fair enough. Yes.
It's just sort of, you're almost like you insert...
But I so wish it was bang. It's not.
No, you're inserting the thumbs to try and pull it apart that way.
No insertion.
All right.
No,
but
that's
downward
the grip.
pressure.
Downward pressure. And there it is.
Yeah. So where are the thumbs? Are the thumbs either side of the stalk?
You know where the thumbs are, David.
Where are the thumbs either side of the stalk?
Yes.
No insertion or penetration? Just,
No, absolutely not. No, the thumbs are used for gripping, not for ripping. That's what I was taught. And if you remember that...
The system comes with a catchphrase.
If you can remember that, you too will be parting apples.
How long have you done this for?
I have done it for a long time. What I used to do to entertain was I used to take hard-boiled eggs, peel them, I still do it, and I could take the shell off in one. And you actually peel the membrane rather than trying to... Don't be all rough-handed and don't, take your time. Off it comes bang.
And when did you...
That's the correct way to present. With an apple, it's this.
When did you first discover that you could do the apple? How did it come about? How did it come to be?
I can't remember the first time I did it. I can remember the feeling. But I can't remember the first time I did it.
What was the feeling?
The feeling was magnificent.
Right, David, is that the truth?
I don't think so, but it could be. Can we leave it at that?
Yeah, that's fine. OK, on to the next round. No, we can't.
I agree with that. I'd love to see him... I hope it's true, because then they'll make him do it.
Yeah.
And I'd love to see it.
Yeah. If it's not true...
Make him do
make
it anyway.
Try?
So what's it going to be?
Oh, I really want it to be true, but it isn't true, I don't think.
You can't pull an apple apart, can you?
You can't just rip it in half. I so want you to be able to.
If you and I can't, sure.
And I can't.
I've never tried.
Have you ever tried?
If I had an apple here, and I could have a few
But I think
goes.
if those two can't do it, David, with no disrespect, it's highly unlikely you're going to pull it off.
Tremendously, frighteningly strong hands, as I found out to my own cost. So you think it's a lie, then?
I'm afraid I do,
OK,
yeah.
well, I'll go with the Giants.
You're going to say it's a lie? All right, you're saying it's a lie. Bob, were you telling the truth, or were you telling a lie?
I was telling the truth.
Yes. Well, guess what I've got under the desk? My trusty box of apples. It's a proper apple. Ready,
Yes.
Bob?
It's a big one.
Thank you. Not you, him.
Does your husband play cricket?
I love that sort of thing. Where shall I do it?
I really hope he can't do it. Yeah!
I have a didgeridoo suspended from a tree in my back garden so that when the wind blows in a particular direction, it parps soothing sounds of the outback into my bedroom window.
David's team, what do you think?
Harps, soothing sounds of the alpine.
Yes.
What a poetic way of putting it.
Thank you.
Do you genuinely believe that that particular instrument makes a harp?
How would you describe it, Greg? And how soothed do you feel?
Right, everyone stop harping.
I get this every night in my house, please.
Where is it, Bob? It's in a tree.
Yeah.
And you made a conscious decision to put it in the tree.
Yeah.
I thought you said it was hanging
Hanging
from a tree.
What it is it's trapped in a V. Is there a name for that area of a tree? Is it called the Clooney or something?
It's called it.
Clooney?
What's the not to believe George Clooney's holding a didgeridoo at Madrid in his garden? Why don't you believe this?
This part of your finger there is called the Clooney.
Is it?
So I'm assuming
I never knew
that's
that.
why I said Clooney. I know it's the Clooney. Where it... And it's wedged there.
It's wedged in the tree's V.
Yes, it's wedged horizontally in the tree's V, facing southeast, which is the prevailing wind where I live.
Where do you live? Not Britain.
Britain.
No, the prevailing wind in Britain is southwesterly.
It doesn't happen every night.
So tell us what this sound does for you, then. You're lying in bed at night and you had a lovely day, you're just settling down, and you hear... And then what happens to you?
I'm soothed. And the mind is soothed. Do you know you get things that will do the same thing to, say, your throat?
Yes.
That does it to the mind.
What if your brain's fine? You don't want to hear that every time it's windy.
You're always soothing your brain. That's what sleep is.
Hence the success of the pillow.
Yeah.
Can I just say, though, Bob, I've been led to believe by out-of-work hippies over the years that the didgeridoo is an incredibly difficult instrument to play, and yet it would appear that all one has to do is to pass air through it.
No, well, you have to position it correctly, just as you would have to over your mouth. I've done that by utilising the Clooney of the tree.
You're using the Clooney of the tree as human lips. Even to get any kind of noise out of a didgeridoo, the Clooney, which it doesn't exist, on Bob's tree, would have to be flesh-like, because the Aboriginal doesn't just go... because it's not just wind, they use their lips.
Very good point. Very good point. Just coming up this time of year, I admit it's a lot better. In fact, I have a wisteria that grows through the didgeridoo.
Of course.
And when the wisteria comes into leaf, not only does it pipe the wind towards the didgeridoo, but it acts as the lips.
It's long been said that if the wind blows in the right direction through wisteria, it can play any instrument in the world.
It's time to decide, David.
OK, we need to make a guess.
What are you going to say?
I think it's a lie.
Of course it's a lie.
We think it's a lie.
I think it's a lie. Well, Bob, were you telling the truth or were you telling a lie?
I was lying. I once set fire to my house with a box of fireworks.
David Mitchell's team.
Was this on purpose?
It was done out of ignorance.
What age were you?
I was somewhere round about 7.
I want to know where you grew up, where a 7-year-old can buy a box of fireworks.
I bought them in the shop near where I lived in Middlesbrough. It was a box for 2 and 6 of Standard Fireworks. That was the brand.
Standard brand. That sounds exciting. Standard Fireworks.
Yeah.
A normal level of excitement will be endeavoured. For a bonfire night, you will forget.
But it says Standard, but then it's...
Well, that is standard for a firework.
So you're in your home, and you're 7 or 8 years old.
I'm 7 and I'm on my own, yeah.
On your own?
Yeah, and
What happens?
on one of the fireworks, I think it was the sparklers, it said, not suitable for indoor use. Which, at that age, makes you think, that means they're OK.
Could you just not read the word not when you were being...
Did you think not was the brand? You go, oh, lovely, I love that not brand food. It's not for human consumption.
I know that logic that says, well, people have obviously tried them indoors.
I discovered they're not suitable.
Yeah.
So therefore, I won't use them indoors because I want to live.
If you look at a big firework, it won't say not suitable for indoors. It's obvious.
Yeah. Right.
But on the sparklers, they chose to put it on.
So what happened?
I lit the sparkler. The sparks went into the box of fireworks, a standard box, and set them off. And I carried the box of fireworks, now beginning to light, into the kitchen, and I threw them into the kitchen. I thought it would be more suitable.
I think you're right. The kitchen, of all the rooms, is the most suitable for fireworks, isn't it?
Because of the oven, the gas, the stove. There is fire naturally in the kitchen.
Yeah, there's a lot of... And there's more... It's more wipe down.
Yes.
Less cloth.
So what happened then?
They went off in the
What was the sound like? Was it bing, wee?
No, these were only standard. And, you know, I remember, as I'm sat here now, wiping the scorch marks off the floor and thinking that my mum's going to kill me.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be in big trouble. Then I went back into the living room. Unbeknownst to me, I dropped one. And the living room was completely engulfed in flames.
It sounds to me that if you're on your own at home at 7, your mum's pretty laid back anyway.
She said, son, will you sit here and look after these fireworks? Whilst I go out to the bingo.
So, you lit the sparkler. A spark went into the standard box.
Yes.
The box starts to go... You go, uh-oh, I must get them into the most suitable room for fireworks.
Yes.
The kitchen. No need to go beyond the kitchen to the outdoors.
Yeah. Mum said don't go out.
It's good to know there was at least one rule in your house.
What time of day did all this happen?
This happened mid-afternoon.
Oh, dear, so you didn't really get the benefit of the...
Who put the fire out?
I went to next door where Miss Best lived. She was, bless her, she was about 80. And I knocked on their door and said, my house is on fire. And she said, do you know, I thought it was.
So what happened then?
She called the fire brigade. They fired their water hoses throughout the house.
Yes.
Ruining it.
Even the rooms where there's no fire.
Not ruining it.
Yeah.
You do know that before they put out fires, it's already ruined, don't you?
Lee.
You're making this house all wet. It was lovely and warm.
And it's the water damage that knackers the house.
Is it? Not the fire?
Not the fire. If they would use their boots to put it out. Honestly, the entire house, that's it. I was in a family of 4 children, and we were homeless.
Where? Bob, keep it light.
No, I'm just saying.
Where were all the other kids while you were alone with the fire? Why did you take 3 children
They were looking
out
after
and leave
fireworks in other people's houses.
So when you say you were homeless, how much of the house did the inferno claim?
It's gone. Entire
It's
house
what, the
gone.
whole
house gone. Yeah.
The whole house burnt
Whole
down?
house burnt down.
So how much did you leave in the living room? The fireworks in the kitchen have only caused a few scorches.
Yeah.
What did you leave in the living room?
And now, don't you feel stupid for saying standard fireworks?
Yeah.
I tell you,
really. I think you were stupid for lighting a sparkler indoors.
If you don't know what you dropped in the living room, is there a chance that it's just a coincidence?
No, it could be.
That it might not have been your fault?
That's what I said to the press.
Your fault?
Press? What press? Who did you speak to?
Local press.
Because they came to the house while it was burning?
Yeah, you know, they're their hats on, trilbies, sniffing around.
With those little bits of paper in the
notebook.
Were they called things like Scoop McLean?
I believe he was called Ron Waffle.
Sorry, Ron Waffle?
It was either him, the other ace reporter on the Gazette was John Caramel. It was one of them two.
Caramel and Waffle.
Honestly.
The question is whether you think Bob has been telling the truth.
Well, I thought it seemed very plausible until we heard about Caramel and Waffle.
I think he thinks he's telling the truth, but I think what's happened at some point, he's seen a film in which this has happened.
He saw Backdraft.
And is now convinced that it happened to him. I think it's a lie.
Sarah.
I was going to say I want it to be true, but that sounds really horrible. I think it might be true.
Well, I think it's true. I think it's true.
So you're going to go for true?
Yeah.
OK, Bob, were you telling the truth or were you telling a lie?
I was telling the truth.
Our next round is called This Is My, where we bring on a mystery guest who has a close connection to one of our panellists. Now, this week, each of Lee's team will claim it's them that has the genuine connection to the guest, and it's up to David's team to spot who's telling the truth. So please welcome this week's special guest, Keith. Bob, first of all. Bob, what is Keith to you?
This is Keith. He's my oldest friend, and when we were at school together, we hid a dictaphone in the classroom ceiling to confuse our teacher.
David Harewood?
This is my old teacher, Keith. I once had to claim I wasn't me when I met him in a cafe, as I was in character preparing for Homeland.
And finally, Lee, your relationship with Keith.
This is Keith, and his hawk...
Yes. Yes, I'll admit, David, it's a difficult start.
Well, go with it. Yeah. This is Keith, and his hawk was supposed to land on my arm at a village fete, but instead stole the wig from the man next to me and flew off into a tree.
So there we are. It's Bob's classroom prankster, it's David's blanked buddy, or it's Lee's hawk handler. David's team, where do you start?
So, yes, David, he was a teacher at your school?
Very briefly.
What, a whole lesson?
I mean, I don't know if... I mean, I would see him.
But he didn't teach you?
No, not teach me.
He was someone who hung around a school, and he was... charitably, you assumed he was a teacher.
But if he was at the school a short period of time, how did you even recognise him in the cafe?
Oh, I knew it was him. He walked into the cafe and he said, "Hi, David," and basically I blanked him. It was literally the month before I went to America when I was doing Homeland, and I'd just been to see my dialect coach. He basically said I have to stay in my American voice. So
Could you not have explained that to him in your American voice? I'm sorry, buddy, but I'm doing a wall here.
I don't think it was ever as good as that, John, to be fair.
I basically just had to say, I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, I'm remembering you now. Do the voice a bit more
I
straight.
said, I don't know what you're talking about.
Ooh, that did weird things to me.
So your dialect coach said, you're in this role, you need to stay in this character.
Yeah.
Now the lesson's over, let's go to a very public place.
Yeah.
We are likely to encounter several people.
Well, that's what you have to do. You have to stay in that voice. You have to have the confidence to stay in your voice.
Why can't you just, turn it on like an actor?
Oh, that's a cheap shot, Sarah.
I have to say, I did phone him up afterwards and apologise.
So you had his number?
You stayed in touch with the teacher you barely remember.
Would it be fair to say the hawk's looking a bit more plausible?
So, David, who would you like to question next?
Bob, remind us of your allegation.
When we were at school together, we hid a dictaphone machine in the ceiling tiles to interrupt the lesson.
So not to record, but to play stuff?
Yeah.
What sort of stuff?
Well, it was important to keep a gap at the beginning, so we let it run for about 15 minutes. And then there was the noise of a fly. For a brief period, then another period, to confuse the teacher.
Where would you get the noise from the fly? You'd make the noise.
We'd make the noise ourselves,
Let's
I'm
hear
not
your
paying
fly
for no
noise.
fly to do it.
Let's hear your fly.
You know,
It does sound like a fly.
Can I hear you bee?
we didn't do a bee.
Do you know how to do bee? Just like that fly.
Oh,
no,
it's more wholesome if it's a bee, isn't it?
Show me the difference, David.
Well, I don't know, I'm not...
Do
well,
it.
I'd say, OK, a bee would be a sort of a foot...
No, that's a
Whereas
bumblebee.
a fly is
Yeah. Very good. That's good. Very good.
Right.
Do you see the way he just slipped straight in and out of character?
So yes, there was silence.
Yeah.
Then a little bit of fly, silence, a little bit of fly, and then quite loudly, but not to frighten anyone, the word wolf. Then more silent. Yeah?
Oh,
a bit more silence. Then Speedway Stadium. Like that.
Speedway Stadium.
Do you know, the idea was just to say kind of random things. He was a really nice teacher called Bill Whittlingham.
How did Bill Whittlingham react to these random sounds?
Well, Mr. Whittlingham left the room and said, "Can you sort this out by the time I've gone back? Can you sort whatever it is that's going on?" And there was a cupboard in the corner where, interestingly, it had like exercise books in it, pens and that, but it also had, in a little cage, a hand lion, which is a robotic, it's a battery-operated thing.
What? Are you just saying any words that come into your head? In any order?
It's a hand lion, and if
hand lion.
It's a robotic, animatronic hand lion. Yeah. And if you'd been particularly good, he would put it on your hand and set it to lick it. If you'd been particularly...
Was this like a clockwork lion?
No, it was remote control.
It was remote control?
Remote control. He had the controller in his desk, and he said, you've been
actual
such a good
lion...
boy. Get out the hand lion, and you'll get a lick. And if you'd been bad, you put him on your hand and he'd strike. He'd strike at your hand.
So the hand lion had two settings. It could lick or it could strike.
Yes, good boy, bad boy.
Right, very
good
sensible.
boy, bad boy. Now, the only problem with it, of course, was...
What, this story?
It would... The only problem was, of course, if the batteries got low, it would get constipated. No, anyway, but in this cupboard, so we got up on the cupboard.
You climb onto the cupboard that the hand lion is housed in.
Probably asleep.
Right, you reach up onto the ceiling tile.
Take out the dictaphone.
Switch it off.
Yep.
Mr. Whittlingham comes back in.
Yes.
What happens?
He's nervously awaiting another, edict from above. Yeah. Doesn't come, we carry on with the lesson. British government and politics it was.
There was a lesson called British government and politics?
Yeah.
Whole year on that?
2 years, it was A-level.
For the sixth formers...
Yes.
A hand lion... a hand lion that can either lick or strike was what was used to express praise or the opposite to these 17 or 18-year-old students.
And it was very effective.
All right. Would you like to move on to the final claim?
So, Lee, tell the story about Keith.
I was at a village fete, and...
Why were you at a village fete?
I was helping out.
What village?
Thames Ditton.
Why were you helping out at Thames Ditton fete?
Because I don't live too far away from there, and they asked me to help out, and I did a few little things, like I did a bit of tombola, a bit of announcing. Then I went over to judge the pig racing. The usual things you do at a fete, you know.
The pig racing?
Yeah. I don't know why I judged it, because surely first past the post, but...
Well, no...
I was doing a case of a dead heat.
And what happened with the hawk and Keith and the wig?
One of the things I had to do was to volunteer to stand there and learn. He had the little headpiece on where he'd teach the crowd basic falconry, I believe we call it. I'd stick the glove on and then hold this little thing. I don't know what it was, but I'm doing this.
A small morsel of meat.
Thank God you've been to one, because I haven't. Yeah. I'm holding a small morsel of meat. Then what happens? And then...
then the swan comes down.
The swan came down. So the hawk comes over, right? It comes over. There's a person missing from this story, and it's the mayor, right? The local mayor. I can't say it in I always
mayor.
The mayor. The mayor, right?
The mayor of standing next to a horse.
Yeah, so the local... So the mayor is doing his bit, but the mayor has got a wig on, right? The hawk flies over to go and land on my hand, but he lands on the mayor's head, and so he gets caught up in his what should we call them? Talons. He gets caught up in the talons, and then in the sort of panic, the bird sort of... And he can't release this wig, and he flies off, and he goes into the tree. I said, why didn't he go for the meat? And he said, I genuinely think the gold chain caught his eye. There was a bit of confusion for a second, and he just did a bit of an emergency landing on a mare's wig at Thames Ditton Fete. What's there not to believe?
At that point, did you cry, oh no, the mare's hers over there?
So David's team is Keith, Bob's classroom prankster, David's blanked buddy, or Lee's hawk handler.
I was believing Bob until the fact that he was 18 and the hand lion. I'm leaning towards David.
I think I'm leaning towards David.
I think it's Bob, and I think he panicked because he knew we were onto him, so he went on a ridiculous riff about a hand lion to throw us off the scent. I'll go Bob, but I've been wrong before.
Tara?
I'm going to go David.
We'll go David.
You're saying David?
Mm-hmm.
Keith, please reveal your true identity.
My name's Keith, and Bob and I recorded voices and hid the dictaphones in the ceiling.
Yes. Keith is Bob's classroom prankster.
I would never have believed all that stuff about a hand line was completely true.
Thanks very much, Keith.
Thank you.
The police once ordered me to leave town, unspecified, because I was frightening the locals.
David's team, what do you think?
Could you give us some context, Bob?
I'll give you the name of the town. It was Castle Douglas.
Ah. Where is that?
It's southwest Scotland.
And why were you in Castle Douglas?
Was it a tour or something?
No, it was a long time ago. I was only 17, 18, that kind of age. And...
a numerical age, that kind.
Yeah.
Rather than iron or bronze. That's a different kind of...
I was with two friends trying to get as close to the Gulf Stream as I possibly could.
What? What do you mean you wanted to get close to the Gulf Stream?
It seems such an appealing, far-off, miraculous thing, this hot stream of water so near us, that it was hard to believe in it just from the textbooks.
But it's not like a spa. It's a massive flow within the ocean.
Yeah, but
you can't see it.
Well, if you're at the Logan Botanical Gardens...
Well, there's a lovely view of the Gulf Stream.
No, but you can see the effects of the Gulf Stream. You know, it's like a tropical gardens, and so in that way you sense the influence of the Gulf Stream. Well, no, it's extraordinary.
I know all teenagers are absolutely mad on the Gulf Stream. They can't get enough of it and its
flowers.
But
that was one reason amongst many.
But the police of Castle Douglas don't mind the teenagers who'll flock there to admire the effect of the Gulf Stream. So what was it that you did that put their noses out of joint?
We scared the locals, apparently, because we were wearing very grotesque masks.
Why were you wearing masks? If you're going to gardens, why would you wear a mask?
Ah, well, here's the thing. That's a perfect question.
Yeah. Just before you answer it, have a minute.
we were travelling in a Morris Minor, and we were sleeping in the car. There was three of us. There's me mate Harry Harriman and Steve.
Steve Harriman.
No, Steve, by the way. He was. Have you just called Steve, by the way?
He was. Steve, by the way, as in incidentally.
Yes. Anyway, we had these...
You're wearing these masks?
We're wearing these grotesque...
Why are we wearing these masks?
We're wearing these masks because we didn't have anywhere to sleep and we were sleeping in the car.
Right.
They'd been given us by Harry Harriman's mum, yeah, to keep us warm at night because of the heat generator.
What, grotesque latex masks?
Yes. They were just old men's masks, but they were to keep us warm. Harry Harriman's mum she sold these stuff from home, and she sold another thing which was called a jobble top, yeah, which was a bobble hat that made it into a jumper, and the big bobble was at the back and it buttoned down the front, and that was.
I'm telling you now, right? If this is a lie and they end up saying lie, I will say to you, why did you make it more difficult for yourself? by mentioning the joggle top, or whatever it was called.
Because I'm imagining my sleeping arrangements and think, yes, we had the latex masks on and these giant, like, what they're called jobble tops.
Right, okay. So, if you're wearing a sleeping mask and you're scaring the locals, like, normally the locals would be in bed when you're going to sleep, and it's dark, and you're in your car and you got a scary mask on. You know.
No, we were just on our daytime drive from Dundee to Castle Douglas.
With masks on.
As we went past
Keep
people,
your faces warm.
we were staring at them with our scary mask.
Why did you not remove... Because I would say, from my experience of sleeping all night in a classic car in a latex mask and a jobble top, you get quite clammy. And so in many ways, it's quite a relief to take the latex mask off for the next day's drive.
Yes, and
not to mention how it helps being able to see where you're going.
Yeah. But then, no, of course, we take the mask off in the morning, but then round about midday, you wanted to put it back on. Yeah.
At what point did the police get involved? Didn't the police get
We
involved?
parked up in Castle Douglas, right next to a shop, because we wanted to get one of their famous Scotch pies. As we came out of the shop, I was grabbed by a policeman, and it was a sergeant, by the way.
Sergeant, by the way.
So
that's how you got away with it, because you said, don't worry, that's my dad.
Maybe it was.
I'm a sergeant, by the way. I think Daddy!
So the sergeant,
by the way,
he took me to the police station, and
he arrested you?
Yes, taken and put in a room, and then the sergeant and a plainclothes detective came in.
Plainclothes detective?
Oh, yeah.
What has she done?
CID have now got involved.
And then they said, you're going to have to wait here, we've sent for a specialist from Edinburgh.
and then, as we sat in, it came in and said, right, what's with the funny faces? They said, what's with the funny faces?
So what did you say?
Well, we explained what had happened, that we had these funny faces, that we slept in them, and that we're terribly sorry to have caused any offence.
So presumably then they released you?
Sergeant, by the way, followed us till we were out of the city limits. So that's my story. It's quite a holiday.
What do you think?
I know what I think.
What do you think?
I think it's true.
You think it's true?
Yeah.
That's not what I think. Cian, what do you think?
I'm going to go untrue.
OK, Cian's going untrue. Adil's going true. David?
My initial reaction is it's a lie. Let's say it's a lie.
You're saying it's a lie?
Yeah.
Bob Mortimer.
Yes?
Was that story true? Or was it a lie?
It was true. For 5 days, I pushed my cat around in a pram because it had sprained 3 of its ankles.
David's team.
OK, the 2 key questions here. How did it sprain 3 of its ankles, and why was it necessary for it to be so mobile during its recovery period?
OK, I'll address those. One of my children, my eldest boy, didn't throw a tyre at it, but threw a car tyre, and it hit the cat.
He threw the tyre recreationally, and the cat got in the way. How did one ankle survive?
Luckily, he was scratching his head at the time.
OK, so the tyre hits the cat.
Yes.
75% of the cat's ankles are, did you say sprained?
Well, they were bruised, and we were told that he mustn't walk.
So you were told he mustn't walk, but he needed still to travel.
Of course he did, yes. It was my younger boy's buggy we put him in.
Right.
Because you could strap him in.
You could strap the cat into the buggy?
Yeah.
How did you strap the cat into the buggy?
Using the straps, and the only journey he had to make was to the litter tray. So we just used to take him from the front room round to the litter tray.
Strap him in. Strap him in.
Tip him in.
Why didn't you just carry him?
No. Because he had these bandages round his legs, but he would insist on trying to walk, which we knew would make his ankles worse.
You couldn't stop him walking, but he would consent to be strapped into a buggy.
It's not really when it comes to pets, it's not really a matter of consent, David.
Never use the phrase, when it comes to pets, it's not a matter of consent. You can get into all sorts of problems with that one.
Tell us more about this cat. What was its name?
Its name was Gudmundsen. It was a...
What?
Never ask Bob the name of anything in the story. Have we learned nothing?
His name's Gudmundsen.
Gudmundsen. Monson as in the word monsoon with an O missing.
Yes. Right. Gudmundsen. His name's Gudmundsen. He's a tabby oriental.
Why Gudmundsen, Bob? Why?
My youngest son named him Gudmundsen.
All right. David, what are you thinking?
What do you think?
Oh, he's lying.
You think he's lying?
Yep, lying.
You think he's... Well, this is a superb moment. I have unanimity from the team, so let's say...
Shane, it's a lie.
We'll say it's a lie.
Bob Goodmonson, truth or lie?
I am telling a lie.
Oh,
We got a point. We got a point. As a teenager, I used to terrorise my neighbourhood with a game I invented called Theft and Shrubbery.
What were the rules of Theft and Shrubbery?
Can I first of all say my memories of this are a bit sketchy?
Always handy for this game.
Yeah. No, well, I'm an older gentleman. They're more like just fingerprints on an abandoned handrail.
Even while you poetically describe the ageing process, another part of your brain is inventing the rules of a fictional game.
Theft and Shrubbery.
Yeah.
It's a game that I played in my youth, in my teens, on the Lakes estate in Middlesbrough. I would probably be 14 or 15. I hope that's all the information you need.
As to what this game involved.
Yes, of course.
Of course. In which case, I'm satisfied and there's no need to tell me. What were the rules?
There would have to be a gang of you. I would usually be with Staver and Bagger.
Well, I didn't realise you knew hobbits as a child.
Neil Overall, Jerry Dungaree's son.
Didn't take his father's name.
Hated him. Yeah. Hated him. So, and Gary Cheeseman would be there. The reason he was called Cheesy is because his mum used to give him a cheese. Do you know the cheese slice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To take out with him when we were hanging around the shops and that, because she thought it was good for his spots. And she'd want him to personally slice.
Surely it's because of his surname Cheeseman.
No.
Surely that was part of it.
Do you know, Gary Cheeseman was a big lad, yeah? A very big head. A sniper's dream, they used to call him. He's such a nice... The thing is, he's such a nice lad. And he was a...
I love these points in the show where we say, Bob, let's all gather round the fireside and you can tell us tales of your youth.
So the rules of the game, of course you will not.
Theft
The
and
rules of
Shrubbery.
the game. Theft and...
Shrubbery.
Shrubbery. They're relatively simple. You had to creep into the back of someone's house and observe the family watching the telly or whatever they're doing, yeah?
It's getting a bit sinister now, Bob.
Yeah, I know.
Is this at night?
This is on the evening time, yeah.
So the family, as it were, backlit by the domestic lighting.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And then you'd find one where the curtains were open, yeah? Go to the rear of the garden and then you'd slowly walk towards the window, right? Try not to disturb them. And you'd chant, increasing the volume as you went, "We do beg your pardon. But we are in your garden." And then you gradually get closer and closer to the window, and as soon as you were seen, that's when Shrubbery comes in.
Which was what?
You were not allowed to escape via the front of the property. You had to go across all the fences. Because you're teenage, what you're really waiting for is someone to make a noise or give yourself away, so that you all have to go run through all the gardens.
That's the shrubbery part.
That's the shrubbery
What's
part.
the theft part?
The theft is... We just always felt that we were stealing something from them. I don't know. Their privacy, their dignity.
So you're going up the garden saying louder and louder, "We do beg your pardon, we are in your garden." "We do beg your pardon, we are in your garden." You're shouting.
How loud would you
elderly
get?
people who are hard of hearing, you could be going, "We do beg your pardon, we are in your garden," before they notice it.
Yeah.
This game can't have lasted, I'm imagining, very long before people kind of rumbled you and...
No, it was just one of the games, that we did. It could be Theft and Shrubbery night. There was another night where we used to take fruit from a fruit vendor's wagon and throw that up in the air and just let it drop on our heads.
Somebody tells me you played that quite a lot, Bob.
Next time, don't use melons.
Cheeseman was very good at it.
So what do you think, David?
Steve, what do you
My
think?
concern is that the details are so utterly believable and sound like they're real that if it wasn't actually a game, he spent an awful lot of time looking through people's windows.
I'm coming down on the side of truth.
Yeah, I know it sounds odd, but I just believe it.
You're going to say truth? Yeah. OK, so, theft and shrubbery. Bob, truth or lie?
I was telling the truth. I have a possession.
Ah, there's a box. Take the item out of the box. That's it. Pop it there, and then read the card thus.
This is the cushion that I used to carry my pet owl around on. I would have brought the owl, but he escaped last week.
David's team, what do you think?
What kind of an owl was it?
Oh, yeah.
Tawny.
Yeah.
Tawny's perch on branches.
Yeah.
So how did you get it to perch on a big, flat, soft cushion?
Oh, Steve, it's so good to have you here.
How did I? Is there a problem here, Steve? Here are the talon marks. I have a rare breeds farm near me, and they had to get rid of a tawny owl that was injured. He couldn't use its wings, and I shouldn't use the words, it couldn't use its bottom. For doing what? For poo-pooing.
What did it use?
So, as a trustee of the organisation, because it's just down the road from me, in Warehorn, I agreed to have... I agreed that I would look after it. It actually had what you would call a colostomy bag.
We wouldn't call it that.
No, you would.
We'd call it a colostomy bag. Yeah, we wouldn't have picked it up, but you did specifically say that's what we would have called it. I thought I'd better address this because we really wouldn't.
Steve, is an owl's colostomy bag called a colostomy bag?
Yes, it is.
You wouldn't really need it because the majority of kind of solid faecal matter with an owl comes out of its mouth.
Yeah. No, we're dealing with a very sick owl. No, I'm sorry, I sound aggressive there, but I can see... Look, he's escaped now, and I can see his little face. We were given a pipette with what was owl nourishment.
So you had to feed it
with a pipette.
Yes. And how did it stand on the cushion if, as Steve says, it needs a perch? It was fine, just so...
I've clearly not made it clear. This is an incredibly sick bird. You can't judge it by the normal tone. This is just a lump of meat and feathers. It's just hanging on in there.
But the thing still escapes.
Yes. Actually, I suspect it was killed by my cats.
Why did this owl sanctuary, when it has a sick owl, why didn't it look after the owl itself rather than give it to a local celebrity?
Because I'm the cushion and cats. I'm very closely associated with it.
Sorry, my client would like a minute.
You had clearly said to me you were going to nurse it back to health?
No, that was never going to happen.
It's palliative care.
It's
palliative care.
It was
palliative
like
care for the owl.
A hospice for the owl.
For the owl. Right.
And we had some decent times.
Did he have a name, this owl?
We called it...
Did you? You called it...
It's all right, you're upset, Bob, I can tell. If you need a minute, it's OK. What did you call it?
Sorry?
What did you call it?
What did we call the owl?
Yeah.
Well, we called him Mavis.
Bob, what did you feed it with the pipette?
It was described to me as owl, as owl nourishment. Everything.
You just take bowls and put them in a liquidizer.
Steve, I can't impress on you. The most you got out of it. It's just a lift and lid.
It wasn't perched then, it was reclined on the cushion. That was its... That's its... That was its deathbed.
We'd have like a broomstick or something and just hold it.
And what have you told the Owl Sanctuary? What have you told them? Because they must have been upset.
No, I've told them he's passed away, yeah.
And they said, well, that's fine. We knew Mavis was going to die soon. That's why we gave him or her to you, a comedian who lives locally, to keep on a cushion in the same room as some cats.
My client would like to change his plea.
This isn't sounding...
You're a trustee, did you say, of this charity?
Yes. It's a rare breeds farm in Warehorn. Does family days. Sadly, I haven't got an owl at the moment. But...
So, David, what are you thinking? Is this true?
No, this isn't true.
You made all that up?
I just don't believe they would let him bring a dying tawny owl home.
No, I don't think so. I think we're saying it's a lie.
I think you are.
But and I think that's the Rare Breed Centre probably needs to look at its working practices if it happens to be true. But
OK, Bob, truth or lie?
I was telling a lie. I recently had to charm a spider out of my shoe by tooting a flute at it.
David's team.
So, where were you?
I was at home.
So was this spider a normal British domestic spider?
Yes.
How big was it, Bob?
It's black, but it's not one...
And what colour was it?
It's not the ones that have got a little body and big, long legs.
Sorry, it wasn't the type with a small body and long legs?
No.
What type was it?
You can work the rest out yourself, surely. Yeah. Big body, small legs.
Yeah.
Was this a gerbil?
No, that's a bird.
If it were doing a gerbil, I'd have used a lute. Honestly. It's actually just a very everyday situation. My wife doesn't like spiders, very scared of them, and it's kind of my job to get rid of spiders. I don't like them either. I'm not going to use my hands or whatever.
No, you wouldn't.
Can you mime the blow moment?
Don't fall for this.
Sorry?
He gets me with this every week. Don't fall for it, Bob. I've got just the thing for you if you haven't got a flute. Close your eyes. Don't fall for it. Do not fall for it.
Did you blow it into the shoe?
Yes, I blew down the flute to bring it out into the heel area. These were a kind of snakeskin elastic slipper.
Yeah.
I brought up just under the windowsill, above where the cat litter is.
Yeah.
I put them there because I wanted to get that height, and it didn't come out.
You moved the slipper with the spider in it?
I moved it, facing the cupboard where I keep the plates. It's got little holes in it. And the spider emerged.
So the spider emerged, but didn't leave the shoe or slipper?
No, didn't leave
the slipper. Didn't
no,
leave the slipper?
Just...
Had a look around, went back in. Well, so you were no better off, were you?
No, I didn't feel like I was better off, but at least I'd found out that we owned a flute as a family.
If I was scared of spiders, I wouldn't go anywhere near that slipper. I'd just leave it. I would just let
I'm not that scared,
Are you not? Scared of 1 to 10?
I'm ginger about them.
OK.
Yeah. Ginger?
Is that right? Ginger, is that a word?
It is,
That's a word.
Yeah.
I'm just not sure it's the correct word in that situation.
It's like you pick something up gingerly. It doesn't just mean the flavour ginger. A ginger nut is not just a biscuit. It could be a tentative testicle.
Do you now know who the flute belongs to?
Yes, of course, it was my son's flute.
Your son, is he a flautist?
No. We hoped he would be, but he could never find the flute.
Well, what are you thinking?
Well, what I'm confused by is that if you fear spiders...
I do a bit.
...and you believe that there's a spider in this shoe, I think you would be afraid to move the shoe.
Yes. Not at all.
I also think you would have worried about, as you go to take the breath to blow it, you accidentally breathe in.
Yeah.
I don't have to breathe in to breathe out.
Michael, which way are you leaning?
It sounds too much like the surreal world of Bob Mortimer to be actually the truth. I think it's a lie.
It's a lie? You think it's a lie?
Yeah, no, nobody in the world owns a flute, really, do they?
You think it's a lie?
You think it's a lie?
Yeah.
Bob, truth or lie?
It was a lie. For the past 15 years, I have performed my own dentistry.
David's team.
So...
give us a big grin.
It could be true.
I know, you're implying I'm a bad dentist.
No, because even very, very, very good dentists sometimes get someone else to do their teeth. And by sometimes, I, of course, mean always.
How do you do that? Like, do you... What do you do?
Yeah. Well, no, the key to it is I don't do extractions. I haven't had to.
Fillings?
I do fillings. I do fillings, crown replacement. I repair bridges. Specifically, I don't do, so don't ask, Stacey. I don't do implants. I don't do root canal.
Do you drill?
I do have a drill I use,
You have to do a filling, you've got to drill it out first, haven't
Exactly, yeah.
Do you use local anaesthetic?
Yeah.
No need.
No need?
No need.
Why, because it's not true?
The situation in my mouth is I have one very long piece of teeth, that white bit there. That's all one piece, yeah?
What?
One piece. Made to look like many teeth.
Oh, I see. So that's false teeth.
Yes.
OK.
Either end of this, I have two, what you call crowns, yeah? Right at the end. At the bottom, I have my own teeth here. As my dentist says, my bottom one's a poppadom colour, yeah? And my top one's are pilo rice.
So who said that?
My dentist.
So this was some time ago?
No. David,
15 years.
I perform my own dentistry.
Yeah.
There's no exclusivity there.
You still have a dentist,
yes,
but you just don't let him do all the stuff.
Yes.
Why is your mouth in such a state?
Because I used to have 17 sugars in a cup of coffee or tea.
17?
17, yes.
17 in a mug?
Yes. If I had 18, it's too sweet for me. So the crowns would come off. I'd go to the dentist, yeah? He'd charge me 400 quid, yeah? To put them back in. And it's outrageous. And I heard this magic word. I heard him say to his dental nurse, Fuji 9. Fuji 9. And I became aware that this Fuji 9, it's actually a luting cement, which means you can use it...
Are you sure he wasn't halfway through a Japanese football result?
You can actually use it... It mixed 1-to-1, the liquid and the powder, it's a cement, yeah? Mixed 2-part liquid,
yeah.
Then it becomes more malleable for fillings. I found a way via my TV work to get hold of some Fuji 9. Once you have Fuji 9, you are a dentist.
So what equipment do you have, then?
All I have is my Fuji 9 with its little orange spoon, with a bigger end and a littler end.
For the different amounts, depending on whether you want the 50-50 or the 2-to-1.
That's Fuji 9. Yeah. It's all done for you. It's done for you.
It's magic. It's magic.
And then
it's magic.
It's like the cement is softer than your teeth, yeah? So I have a leather maker's drill, yeah?
Leather maker's drill?
Yes, a leather maker's drill, because that has sanding fitments to grind it down. You got to check your bite after you fix a crown. If you get it a bit wonky, your bite won't be right. So you have to file the Fuji down. Oh, that bite's nice now. That's nice.
Okay, but yes, the other thing you've got to check after doing your own dentistry is your mental health.
Do you not need one of those special lights?
Kitchen island. I've got a kitchen island. It's nice to have a kitchen island, isn't it? Yeah. And it has it's the only place with a big light over it. So my son has a PlayStation seat that's very low back like that.
PlayStation seat.
Yeah, it's a gamer's seat. And I put that on the kitchen island.
On the kitchen island.
Put it on the island.
Yeah.
So you're up high on the island.
Yes, because then that puts the lamp about there.
And so you're in a PlayStation gamer's seat.
Yes.
Balancing on... What's the surface of the kitchen island?
Do you know, I think it's corian. It's very nice. Corian was originally what was used for autopsy surfaces. Again, so...
Are you doing your own autopsies at home as well?
Oh, what to say?
Bob, the dog's dead. Bring it in. Bring it in.
So, if I was to say this, the hardest thing is somewhere to hold the mirror.
I think the hardest thing is to sell the story, Bob.
I have the most curved Indian instrument called the samashi or something. And if I put it next to me on my gaming thing, the curve of it, it's like a flute thing. The curve of it goes there, and I can put my mirror there like that. Got the light there, game thing.
Sorry, you hang the mirror on the end of a curvaceous Indian musical instrument.
Yes.
But this is very specific.
So what's it going to be?
There's a lot of detail.
Yeah.
If he was trying to make this story plausible, why would he say the way I set up the mirror is that I tie it to the end of an Indian musical instrument?
Do you remember Bob being on this show before?
Yes, and it's always true. It's true about the masks in Castle Douglas. It was true about him being able to tear an apple apart with his bare hands. It was true about the game in the gardens.
Well, look, whether or not it's true, and we don't know yet, don't try it at home. I should say.
Do you ever do extractions, Bob?
I've never done an extraction.
Because I genuinely had an extraction yesterday, look. I see it out there.
Oh, they've not used Fuji.
All right, so what's it going to be?
I think it's true.
You think it's what?
I think it's true.
So, Bob, is it the truth or is it a lie?
It is true.
Our next round is called This Is My, where we bring on a mystery guest who has a close connection to one of our panellists. This week, each of Lee's team will claim it's them that has the genuine connection to the guest, and it's up to David's team to spot who's telling the truth. So please welcome this week's special guest, Jonathan. So, Debbie, what is Jonathan to you?
Well, this is Jonathan, and when he was a baby, I used to pull him out of a top hat.
Bob, how do you know Jonathan?
This is my friend Jonathan, and I have brewed 3 award-winning beers with him.
Right. And finally, Lee, what's your relationship with Jonathan?
This is Jonathan. One Sunday, the two of us spent 3 hours trapped in an automatic car wash.
David's team, where will you begin?
Well, Debbie, so you used to pull Jonathan out of a top hat?
Yeah.
And so, how old was he then?
About 6 months.
6 months.
Was he a rabbit at that stage? He's grown up into a lovely bunny.
What a cougar comment that was.
He's going for it, though. Look, he's aflame with desire. Look at him.
He's got the right hairstyle to be pulled out of a top hat.
So, where did this happen?
This was in a summer season in Bournemouth.
Debbie, how big was the top hat then?
It was a prop top hat, so it was a bit bigger than a normal one. But, you know, babies aren't very big. He was only about this big.
6 months, not very big.
Yeah.
And so...
And was he the son of someone else in the summer season? Or
No,
was he one of the
was-
Chuckle Brothers' offspring or something?
No, it was a feature in the show, and we had different babies on different nights. You know, they were like in rotation, and they came from an agency.
So, who would bring Jonathan to the theatre?
His mother.
His mother?
Yeah.
And what would happen to him? I mean, I don't want you to give away the magic trick too much, but where was he stowed up to the moment where he's pulled out of the top hat?
I can't tell you because I'm a member of the Magic Circle and I can't give
That
the
is a
secrets
really
away.
handy thing for this game. I like it. Can you come on every week?
Well, don't give anything away, Debbie, but talk us through the trick.
There was a pretend rabbit. And then Paul would lift this big top hat from underneath and tipped it forward. And that's when I would come over as the assistant and take Jonathan out and say, and here's the rabbit's turned into a real live baby.
And the audience
And
went,
I'd be like
boo, we hate babies.
No, they
How long do they have to wait to be revealed?
Not very long. It wasn't a very long trick.
So they were only briefly on stage before the
They were only briefly in
reveal
terrifying darkness alone.
Which they are in a cot when they go to sleep at night.
And indeed in a womb.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the ultimate trick, isn't it?
Now, who would you like to question next? Bob, remind us what it was that you've said. How do you know Jonathan?
Because I have brewed 3 award-winning beers with Jonathan.
What are the names of your award-winning beers?
The one that's my favourite is called Kiss the Alderman. That's an IPA.
Kiss the Alderman, an IPA, yes.
IPA. Another one was a stout, and it was called Retail Park.
Retail Park.
And the other one was a lager, and that was called... Not now, madam. It seems funny now. That's why we used it.
Madam Lager. Kiss the Alderman. Retail Park.
Can I just say, he's written these down, so I hope you can remember them.
How long did you two work together for?
About 2 years ago, I was in a field, Dion, collecting some mud to go and bury at home in my garden. And along came Jonathan, or J-Keg, as I call him. And he said, I recognise you off the telly, you're that Ray Mears, is what he said. And we got chatting, and he said, do you like beer? I said, I like beer. He said, would you like to brew some beer? And quick. I said, yes, I would, rather urgently, actually.
I've run out!
And he's got a brewery, JPEG.
Yeah.
It's a lean-to next to a barn, right next to the field where I was. It's quite big, actually. It might be a lean 3 or a lean. So I went in this marvellous little brewery that I'm imagining, and we mashed. Well, part of the process is mashing. Right. You put a load of water in the cylinder, and you have to stir the malt barley. Yeah. And I did that bit of it. And I thought, I adore this. Is there any way that I could see this process through, and we could call this beer Kiss the Alderman?
What is the Alderman?
He's an unelected council official. Say, for example, let's focus in on Bolton. Yeah. So if Bolton had a large Chinese community, but there was no representatives, councillors, they would say, would you like to informally nominate one of your Chinese community, and they will become an alderman, and they will sit on the council and be able to represent...
Right. No, that makes sense. So we've definitely covered what happens to the Chinese community in Bolton. However, back to the beer story.
Yeah, so... and that was Kiss the Alderman. So we brewed 1,000 litres, bottled it, and it was the top beer in the Kent Craft Ale Society.
Can I ask, my husband is a brewer, what hops did you use?
Citrus hops. One of them's called something, and the other one likewise is named as well.
I mean, this all checks out.
You know what? The thing that is the hipster brewing beard. If you were to say to me, draw a brewer, that's what I'd draw.
That's what you draw now. It's very interesting,
Now.
Whereas,
wow, really?
Whereas if someone asked you to draw a brewer 30 years ago, you'd draw someone very different, wouldn't you?
I'd draw you.
What about Lee? Lee, remind us of your claim.
This is Jonathan. One Sunday, the two of us got trapped for 3 hours in an automatic car wash.
Where was it? Where was the car wash?
It was just outside the car. Near where I live in southwest London.
Whose car was it? Who's driving?
It was my car.
And was Jonathan in your car with you?
Correct. He was the passenger.
Why? How do you know
Because
Jonathan?
we can't both drive.
How do you know Jonathan?
I know Jonathan because we're in the same football team.
What is it, a bring your granddad team?
So you were you driving back from football?
Driving to football.
Driving to football.
Washing your car on the way to football. Oh, I'm looking forward to the game, young Jonathan. I really can't wait. But tell you what, let's wash the car first, so that when we arrive, everybody says, oh, Lee's doing well.
You drove into the car wash, and what happened?
So, there was 3 options. It was gold, silver or bronze. And obviously, being from the north of England, I was looking for a lesser metal than all 3. But it stopped at bronze. So I went in and I said, can I have a car wash? And he gave me the token. And I went back out and I
Was it a token? Sometimes it's a code these days.
All right, then what he said was, the token is where the squirrel likes to hide.
When I say code, I don't mean riddle. I mean a series of numbers that you put into a keypad.
On this occasion, it wasn't.
You put the token in the slot.
Yes.
You advance into the car wash. The weird things start going.
Yeah, so the big brush at the front that goes over your bonnet, that came towards us.
Yeah.
And then the side ones came. It was the side ones that caused the main issue. They got to the door, stopped, and just kept doing that, and we couldn't open the doors. And it did not stop for 3 hours. I know, it sounds unbelievable.
What? Why don't you climb over into the back seat and get out one of the rear doors?
Because it's a 2-door car.
And I'm assuming this happened before the invention of the mobile phone.
No, that was not true. It was during the invention of the mobile phone.
During it?
During the invention. No, in fact, do you know what we did? We were so stuck, didn't know what to do for 3 hours, we decided to invent the mobile phone. No, it was... his phone was in his sports bag, in the boot.
Where was your phone?
My phone was with me.
Why didn't you use your phone?
Because the battery had gone.
How did you eventually get out?
I absolutely screamed and screamed, and this stranger passing by saw a big button on the thing that said, emergency stop. So he pressed the button, and it stopped, and when it stopped, it reset itself back to how it should be. We opened the door, and I went in. And he went, you're back again. I said, yes, that's about my car. So what's up? I said, tell you what's up. The doors are phenomenally clean.
All right. We need an answer. So, David's team. Is Jonathan Debbie's magic mate, Bob's brewing buddy, or Lee's car wash companion?
I can't believe Lee's story is the kind of story I would have to invent to tell my husband if I'd been in a car with Jonathan for 3 hours. Jonathan looks like a hipster brewer to me.
What do you think?
I think it's Bob. I think they're mates and they've done some brewing together, yeah.
Yeah, OK,
You think Bob met him in a field while collecting mud? He said, come and have a look at my brewery.
Yes.
And we're going to call our beer Kiss My Alderman.
It's not Kiss My Alderman. It's Kiss the Alderman.
I'm so sorry. If it's true, I'm sorry.
Rob, you can immediately appreciate why Kiss the Alderman is much more marketable than Kiss My Alderman. I certainly call mine the Alderman.
But very popular with the Chinese community.
So, David, what are you going to say?
I think my team thinks it's Bob. Yeah, but let's go.
OK, you're going to say Bob. OK. Jonathan, would you please reveal your true identity?
I'm Jonathan, and I brew beer with Bob.
Yes! Jonathan is Bob's brewing buddy. Thank you very much, Jonathan. It's Bob.
Sorry?
It's you, Bob.
It's apple pie tonight.
Is it? It's Friday, then?
Yes.
Following advice from Chris Rea, I always crack an egg into my bath. I've done for 22 years.
We should say for any of the younger viewers, some of my fans, who Chris Rea was a very popular singer.
When did Chris Rea give you this advice, and in what context?
I was making a single for Middlesbrough Football Club's FA Cup appearance called Let's Dance, which I did with Chris Rea. And after we'd completed the recording, he popped me into the bath, and there was an egg. It's an egg in it.
He popped you into the bath. It's been a long day, you must be very tired. I'll just pop you into the bath. So where was this bath? Was it at the recording studio?
It's on a little island in the middle of the Thames. It's as Rare's recording studio is.
So you've been recording, presumably, in a room without a bath?
Absolutely, yeah.
And then you finish the recording, everyone's very happy with the track.
Yep.
And he says, Bob, you look tired. Maybe your joints are aching. This way.
No, it's not exactly like that. It says, that's it, Bob. I think we've got that leg. That's your bedroom, that's your bath. I've popped an egg in there for you.
Is it Geordie?
Yeah.
He's like where I'm from, Middlesbrough.
Right.
But he's much more Middlesbrough than me, like.
And why would he put an egg in your bath? What was the thinking behind it?
I've never found out.
You've done it ever since.
All I know is that I woke up the next morning and I have never felt so alive.
Was the egg still in its shell, floating, or had he gone...
No, the white had dissipated. Does that work?
Yeah.
It's fabulous. It's fabulous. It's non-greasy, which is a boon, isn't it?
Is it non-greasy?
Yeah, honestly.
It's less greasy than water without egg in it?
Do you have to mix it up, or do you just crack it and let it float?
Do you know what? You get in the bath, even in the bath where I am now, and you get in and you really don't want to burst the yolk. So the white goes, but the yolk's there, and you move like that, and you try and get it to come towards like that. And I don't know why, but you just do.
Have you ever had it get in your mouth?
You get it like that. And then you get the yolk, and I use it for hair conditioning.
Really?
I don't know how much hair, but to condition the hair on my skin.
So, just going back to the original occasion, Chris Rea had already run you a bath.
Yes.
I forgot about that detail.
If you knew Chris, it's just so Chris. Yeah. Do you know, the other thing is a couple of weeks later, he sent me a gold doily.
Right. To dry yourself off?
I don't know. But so, I'm just saying, these things are just so Chris.
Do we think that the way Bob describes what happened to the egg white... Is that... He says it just dissipates. Is that
If your
plausible?
bath is hot, then you're going to have a poached white.
I'd have thought the white would turn white. And
Well,
there'd be bits of white.
How hot is your bath? Your bath is hot enough that an egg could poach.
Well, I don't know. Your claim is that it dissipates. I'm asking my team whether we believe that it would dissipate. Because if, for example, at the temperature of a bath, say 39 degrees Celsius, the white would turn opaque, then your story doesn't check out.
Agreed.
Yeah,
absolutely agreed.
I think...
What do you think, David?
I think it's fair to say that if anyone else had made this allegation about Chris Rea and an egg in their bath, we wouldn't be giving it a moment's consideration. Somehow, coming from Bob, it might be true. It's true.
I think...
You think it's...
I think it's true, because he's been about a bit, Bob.
No.
I think the white would poach.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think the egg is the
the
important
chemical
part.
analysis of the behaviour of the albumin.
David, honestly, one thing, please don't base it on the albumin whitening. It does not happen. It does not. I can't have a bath at 80+ degrees.
Is that the temperature at which an egg white will...
It'll start at about 80, yeah. Honestly, please don't base it on that.
What should I base it on, Bob?
What
are you going to say?
Instinctively, I believe it. We're going to go true.
You're saying true? OK, so, Bob, Chris Rea, eggs, darts, is it the truth or is it a lie?
This is awful.
I was telling a lie.
Of course it's a lie! He said Chris Rea put an egg in his bath! Of course it's a lie! It's obviously a lie! Who could possibly believe that?
My first taste of fame was when the local newspaper dubbed me the Cockroach King.
David Steele. What was the newspaper?
My local. It was called the South London Press.
So, are you from South London?
I was in the lead-up to the headline, The Cockroach King.
Why were you in the public eye doing what?
I was a solicitor at the time, and I sued the local authority. Because of cockroach infestations in the council houses. Yes! That's what I did.
And of course, it was that kind of style in court that won the day.
We settled outside of court, actually. But I had to change the names because these are real legal proceedings that we're talking about.
Right. Well, why does the fact that it's real legal proceedings mean you have to change the names?
Because I don't think it's fair to say that, let's say she's called Barbara Lighthouse. Lived in the horror of cockroach infestation.
Were you representing Barbara Lighthouse?
I was, yes.
She'd engaged your services?
She's engaged my services. I visited her property.
Must have been ages to get to the top.
There were Egyptian cockroaches. So I had an idea, right? I said, I bet this is bad for your mental health, living with cockroaches. And I took them to the magistrate's court on a private criminal prosecution under the Public Health Act.
Why are you counting every letter in the same? Are you working out how much to charge her?
You mentioned the Egyptian cockroach.
The Egyptian cockroach,
How many? I wasn't aware there were different types.
They live in the concrete, and they can actually live off the concrete that the buildings are made of.
Eat the concrete?
Yep.
Bob, they got some hard cockroaches. They live in the concrete.
They nip out to go behind the fridge or the cooker, or to turn the light out.
What were the size of these Egyptian cockroaches?
They're long and thin, slip right in.
That's my profile on Tinder.
It is odd the Cockroach King would suggest a champion of the cockroach rather than an opponent.
Or in fact, their leader.
Yes.
Did you lead the cockroaches away like the Pied Piper?
No, I didn't. What happened was I got an expert from the University of Cambridge called Broccoli High Kicks. Again, I've changed his name. His brief from me was, can you in any way argue that this is contrary to public health? He confirmed it, went to court. It's all coming ever so clear now. We went to court, yeah? Ronnie Omlets was the housing officer.
The weird thing is you haven't changed his name, have you?
And what was she called? Barbara Lighthouse. Barbara Lighthouse brought a clear jar of the cockroaches with her and poured them over Ronnie omelettes. Right? Of course, he was very frightened, didn't know what to do, at which point Barbara Lighthouse said, I think I've made my point, you know, to the housing officer.
Yeah.
This is what I live with. So, the council agreed to rehouse. Next day, the Cockroach King.
Right, what's he going to say, Dave? What do you think?
It's that bizarre that only Bob could make it up, so I think that's true.
That doesn't make sense. You're saying only Bob could make it up, then he could have made it up.
No, only Bob can make it up like that.
Right.
So convincing.
Yeah. So we're in trouble, aren't we? Because you're saying that if anyone else had said it, it would definitely be true because they couldn't have invented it. The one person who's saying it is also coincidentally the only human who could also have invented it.
Yes.
What a terrible set of circumstances. You think it's true? Do you think it's true?
Yes, let's say it's true.
We're going to go true.
OK. Now, Bob, truth or lie?
I was telling the truth. On a dark winter's night, I once broke into the garden of the local witch's house and was shocked by what I found there.
David, Steve.
OK, at what point...
There's a lot of questions, isn't there?
At what point in your life did this happen?
I'm going to guess somewhere between when I was 11 and 13.
12?
I'm going to say 12.
And you say the local witch's house. What do you mean by that?
I mean, this is a very distant memory now.
OK.
It was the house, not very far from me, where all the kids said that the witch lived.
And who did live there?
I don't know their name.
Right.
I'll call them Mary Candles. It had hedges at the front, you know, it's like uncut hedges, a front gate covered with hedging, and it said on the front gate, it said simply the words, "No thanks."
No, really?
So that's quite creepy, isn't it?
Can I ask you a question? You started that with saying you were shocked by what you saw there.
Yeah. Yes. Shocked by what I found there.
So what did you find there?
I'm not comfortable with telling you that just yet. Sorry, I'm not.
This is going so far, it's got to be a lie, isn't it?
Let me just say, it does not have to be a lie. Whatever he says, however absurd, it could still be true. However plausible, it could still be a lie. Essentially, what we are doing for this section is entirely futile. We will talk for a bit, then we will guess, then it will be over.
So how did you come to go into this house? Who were you with?
I was with, what's he called? I was with Ken Numbers. Yeah. Ronnie Calculator's son. The vibe is, it's very unkempt, it's the gardening, because as we all know, Lee, yeah, witches hate gardening, wizards hate plumbing. Right? So we knew it was a female residence.
Right. So you've never seen Mary Candles, but you're only speculating it must be a witch rather than a wizard because it was an unkempt garden with no sign of deficient plumbing.
Exactly. And, you know, we wanted to be the first people who said, no, we penetrated, you know, its boundaries.
Yeah.
We went into the front lawn, down a gate to the side, past the bins, past the back door, yeah, and then to the window where there was a light on, a big picture window, looked inside, and that's when we saw this extraordinary sight. Well, extraordinary to us as 12-year-olds.
What was it? You've got to say.
It was a tiny horse. And I'm not saying it was watching television, that was all that was in the room. It was a tiny horse and a television on. I did get in the house.
You got in the house?
Yes, Mrs. Candles came out.
Right.
Yes, and she said to me, you're one of the Mortimer boys, aren't you?
Were you?
Yeah. So Ken said... And she said, would you like to come in and see the horse? And she took us in, and it stank of paraffin. It was hot.
The horse?
Hot. No, well, the house.
I think the horse stunk of paraffin.
The horse did stink, actually.
Did he?
Yeah.
Of?
Meat, hot meat. As we were looking at the horse, I always remember this, she came in and she had a toilet seat in her hand. And she said, if I gave you some money, do you think you could get rid of this for me?
What did you do with it?
Just threw it on our way home, just threw it somewhere else, I imagine.
Did she say what the horse's name was?
Max.
Max.
You'd have thought minimum.
All right, well, now, Suggs, what are you thinking about this?
I mean, you know, it's so preposterous, but David's flung me by saying this is the way he carries on anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, same.
I mean, but no, I'm saying lie, of course.
You say it's a lie.
It was when you said the horse smelt like hot meat.
Well, do you remember the detail of the paraffin heaters?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
We're talking 40, maybe 50 degrees there with those old...
40 or 50 degrees centigrade. So we're talking like the temperature of the desert in Saudi Arabia.
Did you ever see Mary Candles again?
No, never.
Never saw her again?
Never saw her again.
She probably melted in that heat.
All right, what are you going to say then, David?
Do we think lie?
I think it's a lie. I think it's a lie.
I think it is a lie.
All right, they're saying it's a lie. Now, we should bear in mind that when it comes to Bob, David has a very poor track record. Let's see if he can be better tonight. Bob, truth or lie?
I was telling the truth.
No!
I've put a toaster on my bedside table, and the last thing I do at night is pop 2 slices of bread in it, ready for the morning.
Right, so you put the bread in the toaster, but you don't put the toast down.
No.
That would be crazy.
So in the
Unless you were using it as an alarm clock for a 3-minute nap.
So in the morning, do you wake naturally or do you have an alarm?
I have an alarm, but I tend to wake up before the alarm goes off. It's one of the reasons I do it, because at the heart of it is to not wake other people up in the house.
Oh, right, OK. So in the morning, you wake up before the alarm. What do you do then?
I turn on my tea's made.
Right. There we go. Is a tea's made in the toaster on the same bedside table?
No,
as the alarm clock?
No, the tea's made is just tucked round the other side.
So you wake up, you reach round the bedside table onto the tea's made that's on the floor, is it?
And it's just there.
Why are you not just going downstairs to do it?
Because all my children, and there are a lot of them, sleep downstairs.
Now, what about eating the toast?
We haven't put the toast down yet. He's turned the switch on the tea's made by reaching round rather uncomfortably, so he doesn't have to get out of bed.
That's acting. You go...
okay,
it's there.
OK, done that.
Yeah.
What do you do then?
I sit on the bed.
Yeah.
Like this.
Yeah.
And cry.
So you're thinking, here we go, because it's 5 o'clock, whatever.
5 o'clock?
In the morning?
He doesn't want to wake the kids up. They're up in half an hour to clean the chimneys.
As someone who doesn't want to make noise, you've chose the noisiest breakfast to eat as well, munching on a bit of toast.
No, my wife's OK. It's just all these children.
You just can't. You just can't. As soon as if you were to go downstairs, as soon as you set foot on the lower floor, the hundreds of children would wake up, and you'd never get to the kitchen through there because they'll be thronging.
Well,
all
David,
of them hungry.
David raises an interesting point. How many? You've said a lot of children. How many are down there?
I'm not willing to say.
Could you give us a ballpark?
Nope.
When do your children wake?
1 o'clock, 2 o'clock.
So
the older ones.
You've woken up at 5 a.m. So you've got to kill. Sort of,
this is why it's making
What did you do?
So you sit looking at that toast for 8 hours. You can't make it last. Just nibbling at that.
Sometimes I don't even eat it, Suggs. I don't even bother.
Just sucks it so he doesn't wake his wife up.
There's no hurry, is there? I mean, you've got till 1 p.m.
Sitting there on the edge of the bed like that.
It's a bleak image in her bum.
What time does the missus get up? She's sitting there with you going... It's a freaking prison, isn't it, really? To be honest.
It's awful. If this is true, I don't want to play anymore.
I'm thinking if your kids don't wake up till 1, what are you having for lunch?
Where's all the lunch stuff? In the wardrobe. A little gas stove and a tin of beans.
I take the panel off the side of the bag. A little can of gas.
Some spam.
Maybe make a corned beef hash in the front.
Right, what are you going to say?
I'm leaning towards that this is the truth.
You see the madness. This is how the madness takes you.
This is what he does. This is what he does. He plays with your mind.
And even if we're wrong, all we know is tomorrow we can wake up and go down to our kitchens, whereas he's got to wake up.
No.
We win a life.
You see, no, that's not true. Because if we say it's true and we're wrong, yes, tomorrow we can go down to our kitchens and have a normal breakfast.
Yeah.
But so, it turns out, can he? He'll be skipping down the stairs laughing while his children, who have to get up 2 hours earlier than him, serve him breakfast. You'll never believe what they believe. Those fools on the television. More bacon, child. We have 2 things to choose between.
Yeah.
Let's assume we'll be wrong, whatever we say. So which would we prefer? To say it's true and we're wrong, or to say it's a lie and we're wrong? That's the choice. I think saying it's a lie and we're wrong is easier to live with than saying it's true and we're wrong.
I think it's true.
But you think it's true?
Yeah, I do.
So shall we go with true?
Oh, go on then, Dave.
OK, we're going to go with true, and this is... the future is...
Please be telling the truth.
Yeah. OK, we'll say
They're
true.
saying it's true. Bob, was it true? Or was it a lie?
Oh, God.
I was telling a lie.
Yes, it's a lie. Bob doesn't keep a toaster by his bed.
Oh, my God, Bob, you're...
That noise signals time is up.
So soon?
It's Bob.
Oh, Mother of God, no.
I recently had to pull out of a TV show because my teeth fell out.
David's team.
What was the TV show?
Sunday Brunch.
And why had your teeth fallen out?
Because I bit on a Kit Kat chunky.
I may need you to take...
I'll take the reins.
Lead counsel on this.
OK, so, Bob, for many years, a Kit Kat chunky was my favourite chocolate because of the lack of suction. Now, you bite into a Curly Whirly, you ain't never getting those teeth back, right?
But when you say the lack of suction, what in God's name do you mean?
What I'm saying here, if you bite into a Curly Whirly, it engulfs your tooth and it ain't letting go.
But it's not suction, is it?
It is suction because it creates a vacuum of ooze.
I am on Munya's side about the word suction in this instance.
Thank you. Oh, on his side?
Yeah, he's Munya, you're Rob, remember?
You're on his side.
Because it is a sort of suction. It sticks, and as it pulls, it creates a vacuum of ooze.
That's it.
Right. So what happened? What befell your teeth?
I keep my Kit Kat chunkies in the fridge, so it was very hard. So it's like biting into a rock, and I lost.
But not the freezer, though. Just the fridge.
It's. Do you know what? It's a fridge drawer.
Oh, one of those drawers that are refrigerated.
Yeah.
They're very fancy.
Oh, what a purchase! Yeah.
What's the context under which you're eating this? Is it relaxed?
I wasn't thinking about anything in particular. Maybe the band ELO.
Which period of ELO's career would you have been dwelling on?
The early period before they met in Birmingham.
Before they met?
Yes, before
so
they met.
They weren't even a band?
No. What are you going to do with your life? I don't know, maybe make stock cubes. Maybe we should start a band.
But you said you were on Sunday brunch, or did I imagine that?
No, I had to cancel my...
Oh, you cancelled Sunday brunch?
I lost everyone.
What?
What? You bit into it with abandon.
Yeah.
You lost, what, 4 top teeth?
9.
No. 9? All along the top. You take 1 bite from
One
this...
bite.
And that's it. 9 teeth are toast.
No.
Yes.
No. It can't
I believe it.
It can't be. The girth of the Kit Kat Chunky is not 9 teeth.
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't have put it better. It's only going to take 4, 5 maximum.
If it was 3 teeth, would you believe it? In which case...
Too late to change your mind, Bob.
Yes, I would.
You believe it was 3?
Yes.
You want to think around that.
Why?
Because it might help you to decide whether it's true or false.
No.
David. The mind games.
OK, David, it's time to decide, truth or lie.
What do you think?
OK, I did think it was the truth, just because of everything that's happened.
Yeah,
but now I think the amount of teeth...
Yeah, but here's the thing, right? Imagine it's a lie.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring you down to my hell. But why would he go for 9? Wouldn't he go for a more believable number if he was making it up?
That's true. He would have gone for 2.
So why would he say 9 unless it's true?
Yeah. I can see through Bob, and I know this is a lie. It's up to you, but I'm telling the truth. It's a
What do
lie,
you think?
David.
Do you think it's true?
Yeah, but it
It's a
doesn't
lie,
say
David.
9
You think
teeth
it's
on
lie?
the card, though. It just says teeth. It just says teeth. He could be trying to be like...
David,
Stay
it's
off.
just a game.
It's true.
I think it's true.
No, David.
No, I don't. I think it's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie.
You think it's a lie?
We're going a lie. I don't know what I think.
All right,
but I'm saying it's a lie.
Bob, they think it's a lie. Was it a lie? Or were you telling the truth?
I was telling the truth.
Yes, it's true. Now, Bob did have to pull out a Sunday brunch when his teeth fell out, and we've got a picture. Take a look at this.
I once upset a lot of people after I was hired to film a wedding. Something I'd entirely forgotten.
David's teeth.
Who hired you to film their wedding?
A very good friend of mine who saw something in me. He was called Dr. King.
All right.
And he had an act. He was a comedian. It was his stage name.
Oh, right, yeah.
And he had little toy rabbits, little furry rabbits on the end of string, about 10 of them. And he would tell a joke. I bought my granddad a snowboard for Christmas. He's been going downhill ever since. And then swing the rabbits.
Right.
Someone married this man.
Did I say he was married?
Well,
You did say it was his wedding.
You asked me who asked me to film a wedding.
OK, I think I asked you who asked you to film their wedding.
Well, in that case, I apologise. I've behaved very badly.
OK, Dr. King commissioned you to film someone else's wedding?
Yes.
OK.
I found myself living with him.
What?
And he was a professional gambler. He made his living betting on the horses.
Right.
He would only make a few bets a year. It could be as little as 5. He also did videos of weddings.
And you lived with him?
I lived with him, yeah. He drank 5 pints of milk a day.
Wow, that's a lot of milk.
Isn't it a lot of milk?
Wow.
I'll tell you what's interesting. Nothing to do with the story. His girlfriend was one of the Teletubbies.
Which one?
The green one.
And you said he would only make about 5 bets a year. How do you make enough money from that?
Big bets.
Is that his girlfriend's name?
There you go. So obviously that's true.
So he ran a business videoing weddings and similar events.
Yes,
did he?
and one Saturday I was asked to go along and be one of the 2 cameras. So I went to this wedding and he said, "Go down the front and get the bride coming in."
You mean filmer?
Filmer, yeah.
All right. Kidnapper.
And you said this angered a lot of people.
No, that didn't anger anyone. What you do is, in those days, is you didn't edit videos, you just gave them all the footage. I go home back to the flat to transfer the little cassettes that are in the VCR onto a VHS.
Onto a VHS. So what happens then?
I did what I was meant to do.
Yes.
Handed it over to the family. The next morning, there was a knock on the door, like the police.
Yeah.
Bang, bang, bang. And it was the father of the bride.
Oh, no, what had you done? What was the footage?
Exactly.
Oh, no.
Because the VHS that I gave to the family was a recording of a horse race. So when they turned it on to show the family, it went, and they're off!
Because you had recorded the wrong thing?
I know I'd taken the wrong VHS, which was one of... This ties in! Because it was one of Kingy's horse racing.
But you've transferred it from the small cassette that goes in the camera to a VHS.
Yes.
And then just picked up a different VHS.
I mean, it's a long time ago. My memory's fleeting, a bit like a mouse's tear on a hot griddle.
Did you still have the right VHS in the flat? Because that could have resolved matters quite quickly.
Absolutely did. But he did say to us, "You've behaved very badly and you should be ashamed of yourselves."
The thing is, the story is absolute nonsense. Like, it's ridiculous.
No, actually, when you get into it...
That's what I'm
saying. The milk and rabbits aside, it's just Bob took the wrong VHS.
Yes!
As you imagine I once mixed up 2 VHSs, we'd think that was plausible, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there we go. Let's move on.
So do you think Bob's been telling you the truth?
I don't want to talk on that subject. You happy to go true?
Yeah.
Me gut's saying lie, but... You think lie, you think true.
Yeah.
We're going to say true. We're going to say true, and then I've just got some things to do. So that's fine. You can let me know at some point.
You're 100% on this?
I've said what I've said.
Oh.
That's your decision. You're saying it's true.
I'm just trying to... You know, there's a bigger picture. It's a troubled world out there. I think I'm going to address that.
And we'll live with the consequences.
Absolutely.
OK, they say it's true. Bob, was it true or was it a lie?
I was telling the truth.